Welcome to Psalm 88. Now, Psalm 88 is unique. It's the only psalm in the entire collection that doesn't have what we might call a happy ending. Normally with psalms, you'll have either celebration all the way through, or here's my lament, but here's my confidence. What do we do with Psalm 88? Well, I think we should read it, and I think we should appreciate the reality that the Bible's not offering simple, kind of simplistic happy endings. The reality is there are times that we have to face seasons, maybe extended seasons, where there seems to be no end in sight. Let's just get a little taste of this, and hopefully you'll kind of get the point of this psalm even as we're looking at it. I'll flag it up at the end. O Lord, God of my salvation, I cry out day and night before you. There's constant sense of crying out before God. Let my prayer come before you. Incline your ear to my cry, for my soul is full of troubles and my life draws near to Sheol. This is coming towards the place of the dead. It's kind of saying, I'm in dire straits and I feel like I'm on the brink of death. We drop down to verse 6. You have put me in the depths of the pit, in the regions dark and deep. Your wrath lies heavy upon me, and you overwhelm me with all your waves. Verse 8, you have caused my companions to shun me. You have made me a horror to them. I am shut in so that I cannot escape. My eye grows dim through sorrow. Every day I call upon you, O Lord. I spread out my hands to you. Do you work wonders for the dead? Do the departed rise up to praise you? Selah. What he's kind of saying here is, I feel like I'm heading towards death. My situation is serious. The darkness is overwhelming. It feels like death is next. But there's an inherent trust that God is a God who's going to answer prayer. Even though there's no hint of an answer here, the argument that he's making is that once I'm dead, what can you do? All right, God is not going to do stuff for the dead. It's finished for them. And so you've got to answer in this life, even though I don't see how that's going to happen. Drop right down to the end of the psalm just to prove that it doesn't finish on a kind of upbeat. Your wrath has swept over me. Your dreadful assaults destroy me. They surround me like a flood all day long. They close in on me together. You have caused my beloved and my friend to shun me. My companions have become darkness. This psalm doesn't have a happy ending, but what it does have is a continual sense of continually calling out to God in the midst of the darkness. Maybe you're in a season of real darkness right now. Maybe Psalm 88 can give you words to express how you're feeling to God. And the important thing is not that everything's going to be fine, cheer up. Not at all. The important thing is that you express how you're feeling to God. That's the response of faith. That's the response of the faithful to God's plan. He's going to work it out, even if there's no end in sight. He can be trusted, even if there doesn't seem to be any answer forthcoming. Darkness can be very real, a very real and present companion. But that doesn't mean that we need to give in or give up. Even in the darkest of times, we can continue to cry out to God. We can continue to pour out our hearts to him. And we know from the book of Hebrews that without faith it is impossible to please God. What that means is, in the midst of the darkest times, as we continue to trust, it is possible to please God. Psalm 88 is an unusual psalm, but I think it's an important one. So I'd encourage you to read it and to pray and cry out to God. Maybe pray for someone you know who's going through a dark time. Or maybe share Psalm 88 or even this video with them. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time for the final psalm in this current book of the Psalms, book 3.